It's week 12, and as always, we've got some starts and sits for you, man, for your week 12 lineups.
Perfect.
We are back. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your boy Bandy. That's your boy Trey. And the time is now, buddy. What's happening?
What's going on, man? What's going on? How about a snow game before Thanksgiving? That's what's happening. What a fun game last night.
Yeah.
They really popped off and did their thing. Look, Jameis Winston, man, with God, anything is possible, I guess.
That's the truth right there. That's the truth. How about when the reporter asked him the question about the snow game at the beginning of the game? He just looked magical. Just like the eyes were going back and forth, man. He was loving it.
Crazy.
He's ready.
Crazy.
He's ready, man. And I hope you guys are ready for some starts and sits for your week 12, man. We're here. As always, it's Friday night, man. Beautiful weather. Let's get drunk together. All right, let's go. Let's get it going, man. We got our teams on bye this week. We got some doozies, Trey. Teams on bye. We got the Falcons, the Bills, the Bengals, the Saints, the Jets, the Jags. Bye Mageddon, Trey.
Yeah, man, it's one of those weeks where, there's 6 teams on bye and, some of these teams really don't have a whole lot of fantasy value, but even if they're not holding fantasy value, some of these players are kind of your fill-in players where you're like, well, I need at least, I know I can consistently get 13, 14 points out of this guy. And now you got to find somebody to fill in that spot that's going to get those points for you, and you don't know if they will. So it's tough, man.
I'm just glad to have Josh Allen go ahead and get that bye out of the way. I've got him in a couple leagues, but it's okay. I'm covered in one. In one, I got Josh Allen. I'm putting Matthew Stafford in. Okay, I like that. Okay. In another, I think I got Baker on the bench, so Mike Evans coming back. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I like it.
What about the Bengals? Joe Burrow's been going off the chart. How about Joe Burrow having like a terrible start to the year? And now he's like QB2 on the year.
No, he's great in fantasy, but the team, like the wins have not been there. It's like the worst, winningest team. Like they look amazing. The team looks great, but they're losing games.
Yep.
And you don't get credibility for that.
And then Jamar Chase is like the wide receiver 1 too. Like it's insane.
It's like they're like the best of the best in fantasy, but when it comes to real life football, they just can't pull it off.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Guys, hey, no matter where you're watching Fourth and Flex, man, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Fourth and Flex if you haven't done so already, man. We appreciate that. Appreciate the love. We also appreciate our friends over at Underdog Fantasy, man. They do a lot of best ball over there, man, but they've also got some prize picks type over-unders type of things like that, man. So you can win some money if you use our code FLEXY for the listening audience. That's FLEXY, FLEXY. They're going to match your deposit up to $100. And it's basically free money, Trey.
Basically,
man. Check out Underdog Fantasy, man. Great stuff going on over there. We love those guys, Trey. Oh man, good stuff, man. But let's do this thing, buddy. Let's jump into the first game of the week. It's the Titans at the Texans, Trey.
Over under for this game is 40.5 points. Vegas has the Texans picked to win by 8. And you got to go with the Texans here. I mean, the Titans are a dumpster fire of a team. They're probably going to do a whole revamp. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I seen Aaron Rodgers at the helm next year.
Oh, yeah, you're calling it, huh? The Jets got some you know what? Before I go there, I think Daniel Jones might be all right would be better on the Titans right now.
Yeah, maybe right now, but I don't think they're going to, invest in Daniel Jones.
I've seen a lot of questions while we're speaking about Daniel Jones, like Daniel Jones' next team will be blank. What do you think?
I mean, wherever he goes, he's going to be a backup. I think that's the biggest thing, and he might even be a backup that immediately lucks himself into a starting position. That's the kind of role, that Sam Darnold-esque of Daniel Jones. I feel like he's the next Sam Darnold, even though I feel like Sam Darnold's younger than him. Yeah. Either way, I think he's going to do all right. And honestly, he's a competent quarterback. He just can't always execute it on the field. And I think he might be a great backup.
Yeah, no, he would be a very serviceable backup. Any team would be lucky to have him
He can run.
as a backup.
They can. Something happens, they can throw him in, and he can do a couple things that other teams won't be prepared for.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But anyways, Titans. Let's get to the Titans, man. Oh, who you got? You got the Texans winning. I mean, I'm gonna take the Texans.
Yeah, Texans
in this game.
win
That
this
just
game.
feels right, man. But let's get to some Titans starts, man. I got Tony Pollard. I got Calvin Ridley, and I think that I know we're just talking crap on him, man. But the QB, man, Will Levis. I think he doesn't have a terrible game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Will Levis is he either has an amazing game or he has a terrible game, but he does have the amazing game in his playbook.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Calvin Ridley benefits from him having an okay game here, but I still take the Texans for the dub. Let's get to the Texans starts, man. A longer list for sure. CJ Stroud, he hasn't been amazing as we hoped he would be. His draft capital he hasn't really lived up to that, but I'm going to start him up in this game. Joe Mixon, start him up, my guy. Joe Mixon, man, league winner. I think we talked about that already, but league winner for sure, Joe Mixon. I told you we should have drafted him in that one league. Never going to live it down. Just
never going to live it down.
Nico Collins, my guy, is back. Tank Dell, a great start now every week, I think. Maybe Dalton Schultz. It hasn't been great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tight ends on by. Some that's honestly, I think this week is one of the biggest things. Is all the top tight ends are on by, and that's going to hurt people. So I mean, you're looking for a fill in. You could do worse than Dalton Schultz.
Not a great week of football. I feel like a lot of okay games. I bet we get some surprises.
Yeah,
like we always do. But I'm just not as excited about some of the games coming on this week. I mean, I love football, but I'm just not as pumped about some of these games. But we're going to do what we do anyway, and we're going to get a dub out of it.
And I'm not even as pumped about watching some of the teams that are on bye, but it's just like the pairings. It's just, there's not enough juice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Before we get to the next one, our boy Tommy popping in over on YouTube. What's happening, Tommy, my guy?
What up, Tommy?
Hello there. Rate my team. I got Love, Monty, Barkley, Tyreek, Scary Terry, Evans in the flex, Disley, Justin Tucker in either Broncos or Kansas City. D. And he's a game out of the playoffs, so he needs a W, Trey.
Yeah, man. It definitely looks like one of those teams that is a game out of the playoffs in a sense that this team has a lot of players that have been up and down. You look at Tyreek, you look at Scary Terry, who had a rough start, but now he's going off. Mike Evans been hurt for a little bit. When this whole team plays and they're all healthy, this team is, super solid. But it's a scary team to have for sure, in my opinion. But I like it. I mean, to rate it, I would say probably a B minus, just out of the fear of week in and week out what's going to happen. I mean, look at Justin Tucker, like one of the worst kickers in the league right now.
No, dude,
it's insane.
Stop missing kicks. I'd say throw Evans in the to take Tyreek's spot in your wide receiver, and I want to see what else you got, okay? Because I just feel like Tyreek ain't it right now, bro.
I mean, yes, but you think of all the teams on bye this week, like Tyreek's going to put up, 12, 13 points, and you're probably more secure out of those points than you are anybody that you have on your bench right now.
You make a solid point there, I suppose. I just want to know who he's got on his bench. You know what I mean? Is there a better option right now? Thank you for the question, man, guys. You can put your question down in the comments, man. If you got one, man, we're doing what we do over here. Hey, what's happening, Dan? DBC, yo, how's it going, fellas?
What's popping, Dan?
What's happening, Dan? What's happening, my friend?
Dan the man.
Hey, guys, again, if you have some fantasy football starts, sits, any kind of questions for us, man, throw them down in the comments. We will get to them, and we will have your back. But until then, let's go ahead and jump in to the next game. This week, we got the Vikings at the Bears.
Over under for this game is 39.5 points. Vegas have the Vikings picked to win by 3. The Vikings pretty much always win by 3. So I'm definitely going to take the Vikings over the Bears here, but I do think it'll be a close game like the Vikings like to play.
The Bears have really disappointed me, just saying. Like, I thought they started to do good. I was hoping for it. Didn't really work out. The Bears just seemed to kind of went up and then right back down. So I'll take the Vikings for the dub, but I think, like you say, it will be a close game because that's all the Vikings play.
Exactly. Jumping to my Vikings starts. Sam Darnold is definitely startable in Superflex leagues, maybe even in single quarterback leagues if your quarterback is on bye. I don't hate Sam Darnold as a fill-in this game. Aaron Jones, been a rough couple weeks, but I think you can start him this week. I think he'll be good. Same with Justin Jefferson. You obviously are starting him this week. Jordan Addison is one of those flex situations where he's actually had a couple really good games last couple weeks. And then TJ Hawkinson, with the way the tight ends are, he's getting some work here and there.
Yeah.
And we know TJ Hawkinson can have big weeks. So, you got to bank on this being a big week. But if you're struggling at tight end and you're deciding between TJ Hawkinson and somebody else, I might lean TJ Hawkinson.
Would you be upset if you had Hawkinson in your IR spot for the first few weeks? He comes back, doesn't really do much. I mean,
I would only be upset if, depending on where I drafted him and depending on what I have, because really no tight ends have been just absolutely amazing this year, outside of a couple.
You're right.
So it's a tough world for tight ends. Honestly, it does feel like a wasted draft pick drafting a tight end at all this year. So I probably would be a little upset.
Yes, that's fair. Hey, our boy Dan says, "What's your expectations for Bucky this week?" We'll get to that, man. We got the Bucks game coming up in just a few games. My guy Dan, 7-4, looking to clinch a playoff spot this week. Let's go, baby.
I like it. I like
it too. And Tommy says, I got Stevenson and McConkey on my bench. Everyone else is on bye. Boom. Put Tyreek down. You throw Mike Evans in the wide receiver slot, Stevenson in the flex. What do you think?
I don't like it.
You don't like it. You start Tyreek over Stevenson in the flex? All right. Somebody write that down. We're going to go back and we're going to check that later. Okay. Dan, what's up, man? With the thumbs up. All right, let's go.
Anyway, moving on to my Bears starts. I'm not starting Caleb Williams. DeAndre Swift is questionable. I think he will play. If he does, I think you can start him. DJ Moore is a deep flex at this point. And, he has some good games, some terrible games. Keenan Allen is questionable. If he plays, he'll get you 8 points if that's what you're looking for. And then I'd rather start Romeo Odunze over Keenan Allen. Honestly, he's had a couple big games here recently, and Keenan Allen hasn't had more than like one game over 10 points. So, and then Cole Kmet, I really don't want to start either. He's shown a couple great games, but it's too volatile for me.
He has been, man. He really was getting going really good there for a minute. I think he's dropped. I think he's still technically in the top 10 of tight ends, but that's not a hard list to be on these days.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Let's keep it rolling, baby. Let's go on to the next game, man. We got the Cowboys at the Commanders.
Over-under for this game is 45.5 points. Vegas had the Commanders picked to win by 11.
Woo.
Now, it's been a long time since the Commanders have had that much of a stretch on the Cowboys. But, yeah, I think the Commanders could win by more than 11. The way these Cowboys are playing, and luckily they're playing at the Commanders because the Cowboys are worse at home than anywhere else.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints have scored more touchdowns at the Cowboy Stadium than the Cowboys have.
That's insane. That's an insane statistic, Trey. Oh, my God. Let's jump to some Cowboys starts. CeeDee Lamb. Got Cooper Rush at the helm. He can still feed CD, but I don't know, man. Rico Dowdle. There's a lot of buys going on. Maybe Rico Dowdle in a deep flex, even with all the buys. He's technically taken over, but it ain't really looking like much either way. I don't like starting anybody else on the Cowboys.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Even Ferguson, I was really hoping Cooper Rush would, just check down a lot, and Ferguson ain't even looking that great. So,
let's see here. Let's go ahead and jump to the Commanders, man. Jaden Daniels. It hasn't been as great the last few weeks as it has been, man. I look for him to step it up in this game against the Cowboys. That defense has been atrocious. So I feel like he steps it back up. Dan, I'm talking to you, buddy. He said he's got Daniels as his quarterback in the last few games. Let's see. Brian Robinson Jr., start him up. Scary Terry's been great. Start him up. Zach Ertz has been on fire. Keep starting up old Ertz. Austin Eckler, I think even with Brian Robinson in, I think I'm going to go ahead and start him up anyways. I just feel like they've used him so much lately that they're starting to figure out the way to use Austin Eckler, man. And that's why I feel like he's going to be a good flex this week, Trey.
Definitely, especially with all the buys. I like Austin Eckler as a start.
Definitely, man. Commanders, Cowboys. I don't Cowboys. It's just not even fun to hate the Cowboys anymore, Trey.
I don't know. It's still a little fun.
I don't know. It's crazy that the one of the high flyingest, best offensive teams last season, I got one start for that team right now.
Yeah, man, it's devastating.
Yeah, it's crazy, buddy. It's crazy. Tommy popping in says PPR Waddle or JMO. I also got St. Brown in my lineup.
Rock JMO, baby. I'll take JMO and St. Brown on the same team in the same game versus putting Waddle in my lineup. I mean, Jared Goff could throw for 5 touchdowns and 3 to St. Brown and 2 to JMO. You know what I mean? And Waddle probably won't get one.
Let's see. Hey, my guy Dan says, I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm going for the football team this week. Dang. Crazy.
For that number 1 pick.
Yep. Let's see here. Let's because they need it, honestly. Let's get to the next game, buddy. We got the Patriots at the Dolphins.
Over under for this game is 46.5 points. Vegas have the Dolphins picked to win by 7. And this is one of those games that to me is decided on where it's played. It's played in Miami, so I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Okay, yeah. I think so. I just feel like I will take the Dolphins also in this game, but only because I feel like it's the experience on the Dolphins side of the ball. I don't think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be electrifying, but I still think that they could beat this Patriots team with a rookie quarterback who's still figuring things out, whose over is 0.5 passing touchdowns. Just saying.
Yeah. Jumping to my Patriots starts, Ramondre Stevenson is startable. Demario Douglas and Booty. Or Boutte, however you say that. Both of those guys, I think, are flex worthy this week. I mean, they've been averaging anywhere from 8 to 15 points. So, if you're looking for something like that, they're both flex worthy. And then Hunter Henry, had a couple good weeks. I mean, a couple low weeks, but a couple high weeks. They're using him in the offense, and he's a tight end. So fill him in.
Fill him in, baby. Fill him in.
Jumping to my Dolphins starts, I think Tua is startable in this game. Tyreek. Also, I think is startable this week. A-Chain, you got to start this dude up. He's a monster. And Jonnu Smith, doing the thing, man. Jonnu Smith really looking, we've seen great things out of Jonnu Smith over the years, but he's being a lot more consistent with the Dolphins. Yes. And then I'm not starting Jalen Waddle or Odell Beckham Jr., but I felt like I needed to mention that he is playing.
What about Raheem Mostert?
Man, I'm sitting Raheem Mostert, man. I started him like 2 weeks ago just because I needed him on a bye week, and he did nothing for me. And he's just been riding my bench. I'm not dropping him. I'm holding him. I'm chilling. He's holding my spot. You dropped him?
I dropped him.
Right now I'm holding. I'm holding out.
I just think the Dolphins need to be holding out for some hope to make the playoffs, and I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think that they're really giving it their all these days, man. Tua's last concussion knocked something, because he just isn't looking as great. He's got weapons. You have the weapons. What's going on? You know what I mean? It's just not happening for him.
It's tough.
It is tough. It is. But let's keep it moving, buddy, to the next game. We got the Chiefs at the Panthers. Come on.
Over under for this game is 42.5 points. Vegas have the Chiefs picked to win by 11. And I think no matter how terrible the Chiefs play, they end up winning this game. It's kind of how the Chiefs win games. They play terrible and then win.
I know. What do you think the odds are for the Panthers to take the win?
I mean, I'm sure they're not just absolutely amazing, but I mean,
maybe?
I bet they're solid odds, but I would probably bet my house that the Chiefs would win this game.
I don't know if I want to get that crazy.
However, maybe the Panthers got a little something.
$20.
Really, man. This is the thing about the Chiefs for me, man, and it's kind of like this to me defines like the Mahomes of our generation. It's like Mahomes is basically like if they win the Super Bowl this year, like he's basically Michael Jordan, right? Like Tom Brady will be the GOAT and will always be the GOAT, but or I guess so. Then Mahomes is like LeBron James, right?
Okay,
and because Mahomes just comes in and it doesn't matter how the game is played. It's like the first 3.5 quarters don't matter, right? No matter what's going on. And then it's just like, oh, the game's almost over. Time to win.
Yeah.
And then Mahomes comes in.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, exactly. My guy Dan says, pick up the Chiefs defense. Yeah, that's a good call, my friend. Hey, I have Pacheco. Pacheco coming back this week, ain't he, Trey?
We'll see.
Yeah. Tommy was pick 2, Hawkinson, Bateman, Michael Wilson, Roshan Johnson, or Adam Thielen if he plays.
Let's see. Hawkinson, Bateman, Wilson, Roshan, or Adam Thielen. Okay, first of all, I'm cutting Bateman out of the mix immediately. Yeah, he's questionable and not doing much. Roshan Johnson with Swift being questionable. I still think he's going to play, but man, this is a tough one. I personally, first of all, out of all these guys, I lean Adam Thielen if he plays, which is crazy. But I think that Chiefs game is the kind of game where Adam Thielen could do something. And then I would go Hawkinson, and then I would probably go Roshan Johnson.
Here's the deal with this question. You pick two of these guys, correct? Now, all these guys have the big play ability, and that's what you're going to have to count on. Yeah. All of these guys are going to have to make a big play out of nowhere, and that will make them fantasy relevant that week, this week. Okay? I feel like Bateman has that opportunity with Lamar getting a good one, like they're on flowers and Bateman's just out there hanging out, and he gets a good one. One good one, and Bateman is a decent start, okay? And then let's roll on to Roshan Johnson, okay? He got 2 touchdowns while Swift was playing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you're basically going to be banking on who has that opportunity to make a big play and make it worth it for you,
Yeah.
But I do like Adam Thielen coming back, though. I mean, I just don't like who's throwing him the ball.
Sure.
Good question, buddy. Good question. And yeah, so not this week on Pacheco. They already ruled Pacheco out.
Dude,
so.
I heard he was practicing a little bit, and he was kind of hanging out on the sidelines more than anything. But
yeah, he'll probably next week.
I'm ready because I got him sitting there on the IR.
Oof, I don't have any Pacheco shares, damn it. Well, I mean, I guess it's okay at this point, but I think he comes back with a vengeance,
Yeah.
But let's go ahead, man. Get to wait. I didn't do no Panthers. Did I do the starts? Did I do any starts?
I don't think you did any starts.
All right, let's get to some Chiefs starts in this game. Patrick Mahomes, start him. Kareem Hunt has been meh, but you can start him. DeAndre Hopkins, man, we really thought after that 2-touchdown game against the Buccaneers, he was going to pop off, but he kind of had a couple slow weeks after that. But I like him as a start in this game. And Xavier Worthy, they're finding different ways to use him in this offense. So I'm going to start up Xavier Worthy. And Travis Kelce, I guess you can start him up too.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs offense.
And they're playing the Panthers. So
yeah.
Panthers starts Chuba Hubbard, and I like Jatavian Sanders, the tight end, if you're needing a tight end this week.
I can dig it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, let's move on to the next game. Our man Dan has been waiting for this one, man. This week, we got the Bucks at the Giants.
Over-under for this game is 41.5 points. Vegas have the Buccaneers picked to win by 4. And, I mean, DeVito coming in. I don't know. Tommy. No, give me the Bucks.
Yeah, you take those Bucks, man. The Giants let go of Daniel Jones. I think the Bucks come back with Mike Evans coming back. They got to win this game. I'm surprised we only picked to win by 4. That kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, there was a meme I saw of the Joker, and it's like, where's the Italian? Tommy DeVito coming in, baby.
Oh, Tommy DeVito.
Anyway, jumping to my Bucks starts. Baker Mayfield, I think you can start up in this game. Rashad White, I think, is going to do a good game against the Giants. But I also like Bucky as a flex in this game. Mike Evans is questionable, but if he plays, you start him.
Yes, sir.
Because you have no other options outside of my favorite player on this team, Cade Otton, baby. You know you got to fire him up.
You think his production goes down a little bit with Evans in? Because I don't.
Honestly, I feel like it might go up a little bit.
That's what I was exactly what I was just thinking, man. Like I think you're right. I think that the coverage gets pulled a little more because with Cade Otton on the field, they are guarding Cade Otton as the one, it seems like, So I think the coverage gets pulled with Mike Evans. So, yeah, you're going to start Mike Evans, but just know that they're going to be on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't look at Mike Evans to have an amazing week, but I look at him to have a week that you're going to be happy you started.
Well, he better get a go at it, man, because it's week 12. He needs to get to 1,000 yards.
What's he at, like 350?
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, he has to have 100-yard games. Bap, 150, couple 150s in there, I want that. I want him to keep that streak going, dude. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. I'm just saying.
Moving on to the
Quick,
Giants.
I'm sorry, real quick before you go to the Giants. Can you expand on Bucky Irving as a start this week? Did you start him?
Yeah, I think he's flex worthy.
What do you give me? He wanted to know a little bit about how we're feeling about Bucky this week. What do you think, Trey?
I mean, I think that in this matchup with the Giants, that I have a feeling that the Bucks are kind of get an early lead and just kind of keep it. One thing that does worry me though is Tommy DeVito coming in and the Bucks defense almost kind of winning the game for them. So I am a little worried about not enough offense in this game from the Bucks to be fantasy relevant. However, Bucky Irving is kind of one of those guys like you were talking about where you're hoping for a big play, but he is a big play kind of guy. And the Giants are the team to have a big play against. So, I mean, I think it's a risk worth taking.
Okay, let's go. Dan says he's going against Neighbors. I'm a little nervous. He'll explode.
Yeah, let's get into it. Jumping into my Giants starts. Tommy DeVito in Superflex leagues. If you're looking for a fill-in, you could definitely choose worse quarterbacks to throw out there. I mean, this dude's fresh. He's hoping to come in and obviously win the job. Daniel Jones is out. This dude's trying to make a name for himself. Tyrone Tracy, you can start. Theo Johnson, tight end on this team. Yeah. I think that DeVito might use him quite a bit. And Malik Neighbors, for one, he's questionable. For two, he's a deep play guy. DeVito's done some deep plays, but I'm worried that they're not going to let him use Neighbors like that. So personally, I would start Neighbors, but I wouldn't expect anything amazing. And then guys like Darius Slayton, I mean, you're taking a shot in the dark starting that guy.
Yeah, you are. Definitely, especially with DeVito at the helm, Trey. So I like it, buddy. But let's keep this bad boy rolling. Let's get to the next game, and that is our gooder game of the week. Woo, baby. Let's go, man. Let's go. Gooder sunglasses, man. Look, you got to check out our friends over at Gooder, man. They've got some Gooder stuff going on over there. They got stylish sunglasses starting at only $25 a pair. They come with a 1-year warranty, 30-day free returns. They have vibrant colors, sleek styles. There's a pair of Gooders for every personality. Designed for both everyday wear and active individuals that love to hike, bike, run, all that good stuff, man, and more. If you need a new pair of sunnies, Gooder's giving Fourth and Flex listeners free shipping. You can go to gooder.com/flex and use code FLEX for free shipping. Gooder offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's gooder.com/flex. Use code FLEX for free shipping, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Look at your boy, Trey, looking so fresh and so clean in them Gooder sunglasses, man. To be honest, man, we love these sunglasses, man. They're cheap. They're great. They've got all kinds of cool, like, styles. Like, we got right here, man, the Chucks. We call them the Chuckies. Got the Chuckies right here. I got the ones I'm rocking is called 1.21 gigawatts. Got the Back to the Future sunglasses, man. I love it, man. Gooder is great. They're awesome, man. I love it, Trey.
Yeah, man. Most people say I look pretty good, but when I throw these babies on, I look even gooder.
Hey, we need to get that sound effect. But yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get to the Lions starts in this game, man. Jared Goff looking pretty good, buddy. Looking pretty good. I'm going to keep starting up your guy, Jared Goff. Jahmyr Gibbs, start him up. David Montgomery, start him up. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, you can start him up. Jameson Williams, start him up. And Sam Laporta, I like actually as a start in this game, Trey.
Yeah, man, the Lions are just that team, dude. They're putting up so much offense that you pretty much just want to start anybody that you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, real quick, Dan says those boxes are sick. Talking about our Gooder sunglasses boxes. I know, man, they're so fresh, man, so fresh. But let's get to some Colts starts, Trey. Anthony Richardson on the comeback, baby. Comeback. Anthony Richardson. If you see him on the waiver, you should probably go ahead and grab him. Okay. Jonathan Taylor, start him up. I like Michael Pittman as a start in this game. And he's been kind of making a little bit of a comeback. Josh Downs, looking good. Looking pretty good. You can start
looking up.
Yeah. Josh Downs is up right now. So start him up, man. Hey, our guy Dan says he drafted Monty, and I'm happy. Yes, sir. I bet you are. Bet you are, baby. I didn't get any shares of Montgomery. Did you?
No, I didn't actually.
Should have.
I didn't get Gibbs or Montgomery, honestly, anywhere.
You what?
I didn't get Jahmyr Gibbs or Montgomery.
Yeah, it's weird. I had a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs last year too.
I drafted a lot of them in mock drafts.
Oh.
And then when it come crunch time, they would just take it too early for me.
Sounds about right. Hey, Tommy says, are you guys doing a Thanksgiving special show?
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, you have to wait and see, but you have to wait and see, man. You know, we always do something fun on the waiver wire show, man. We are some holiday fellas over here, man. So if you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe to Fourth and Flex, you'll find out if we're gonna have a Thanksgiving special, my friends. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get it going, Trey, to the next game. We've got the Broncos at the Raiders.
Over under for this game is 41.5 points. Vegas have the Broncos picked to win by 2.
Is it hard to see your notes with them sunglasses?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Vegas have the Broncos picked to win by 2, and I think the Broncos win by a lot more.
Okay. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, Broncos looking good. Broncos looking good. I'm going Broncos too, Trey.
Jumping to my Broncos start, Bo Nix, baby. I mean, Bo Nix, with all the buys, he has potential to be a top 3 quarterback on the week.
Looking good.
Javonte Williams, you know you got to fire him up. Cortland Sutton is startable, and Devon Vele is flex worthy, baby. Couple solid weeks out of him. And then Lil Jordan Humphrey, he had a good week last week. You're taking a risk, but if you need a flex, I think he might be a fill-in.
Little hump. I like it.
Moving on to my Raiders starts, Gardner Minshew. I struggle in super flex leagues, but like I said, there's a lot of buys, and if you're struggling, I think I would go DeVito over Minshew. But if Minshew's all that's out there, it's what you got.
Yeah.
Amir Abdullah, however, Zamir White and Alexander Madison are both doubtful, and doubtful means out. And so Amir Abdullah is the man, and I think that he's going to go crazy, and that's why Amir Abdullah is my start of the week, baby. Locking it in. Amir Abdullah going to run all over him. Jacoby Myers is flex worthy, and Brock Bowers is locked in your lineup.
Yes, sir, he is. Yes, sir, he is. My guy Dan says he thinks the Raiders signed Daniel Jones.
I mean, that's not a bad,
They
move.
do make a lot of terrible decisions, so no, I can totally see that happening, man. I like it, Trey. I like it a lot with the starts, man. You did the Raiders, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Amir Abdullah.
Start of the week.
Abdullah Ablamgada. I like it. Let's go, baby. Let's keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling, man. To the next game. This is kind of one of those classic games that happen a lot that I always feel like are bangers, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe this should have been the game of the week. Cardinals at the Seahawks.
Over under for this game is 47.5 points. Vegas have the Cardinals picked to win by 1. And this is tough because the Seahawks typically win these matchups.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna roll with the Seahawks.
I'm gonna roll with the Seahawks too, Trey. Battle of the Birds. I think the Seahawks win every time. Get to the Cardinals starts, man, and the Cardinals are not as good as I thought they were gonna be. It seemed like they were doing good, and then they just bad.
Yeah, they're just like,
Kyler Murray's kind of playing for his future. I feel like they kind of just gave him money, though. Whatever. We'll see what happens. Get to the Cardinals starts, man. Kyler Murray, start him up. James Conner. I think you start James Conner. Marvin Harrison Jr., start him up. Trey McBride, another one of those tight ends, kind of been locked in, lately.
Yeah.
I like it. Get to some Seahawks stars. Geno Smith, start him up. He's actually I think top 5, top 10 quarterback right now. It's crazy on Geno Smith. Did you have him on your list?
Yeah.
This year?
Yes.
I'll have to go back and check the notes on that one, but we'll see.
Roll the footage.
Roll that beautiful beam footage. Geno start him up. Kenneth Walker has been really good, man, and he stayed healthy for a good streak now. So
yeah,
let's keep that going, Kenneth Walker, because I got some shares of that guy. DK Metcalf start him up, and Jackson Smith and Jigba is kind of the wide receiver too now. Tyler Lockett, I guess, getting older, just not out there as much. He's kind of going down, and Jigba's going up, Trey. So I'll start Jackson over Tyler Lockett anywhere,
100%. I mean, Lockett's on waivers in most of my leagues.
Same here. It's crazy. He used to be one of those guys you wanted. He was kind of like the Devonta Smith of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there was always a guy, but he was always kind of the next guy.
Yeah.
Always. Just a career number 2. But yeah, buddy, Battle of the Birds, man. I'm excited about that one, Trey.
No doubt.
Our guy Tommy says the Cowboys should sign Jones, and it would be Danny Dimes versus Tommy Cutlets on Thanksgiving.
That'd be a pretty sick game to watch, huh?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm down for that. All right, buddy. We got a couple more games left, which means there's a couple more minutes for you guys to hit that like button, share this out, show some love, come flex with us, man. We appreciate all the love, all the support, man, and we love fantasy football, man, and that's very clear, man. And you seem like you love fantasy football too, so you can become a flexaholic. You can join the family, join us. We'll help you with your lineups. We'll get you to the next level, man. It's what we do. It's what we breathe. It's what we love, man. To become a flexaholic, down in the description, man. Join the family, Trey.
Do it.
Do it, my indeed. Let's get to the next game. We got the 49ers at the Packers.
Over under for this game is 46.5 points. Vegas have the Packers picked to win by 1. And I'm going to take the Packers here strictly because Brock Purdy's out of this game.
Yeah, I'll go Packers too, man. The Niners have not really been great, even with all their guys. CMC comes back, does okay. Doesn't seem to help them a whole lot. I'm going to roll with the Packers too, Trey.
But jumping to my Niners starts, Brock Purdy is out, like I said, and Brandon Allen is in. Now, a lot of you, if you don't know who Brandon Allen is, I have a little bit of insight because he was an Arkansas Razorback. He hasn't had too much playing time in the NFL. However, he was not the best quarterback we ever had. He had some great games, but typically more often than not, they were upsetting games. Throws a lot of interceptions. So, don't expect anything crazy out of Brandon Allen. But I'm still going to start some of the guys on this team, like Christian McCaffrey. Deebo Samuel, I think you're still going to start him.
Yeah.
And George Kittle, I think, will actually have a really great game this week. But I'm sitting Juwan Jennings. I think that people that think that they can still start him are sadly wrong. And Brandon Allen is not going to be able to give him the ball.
He got a touchdown last week, but that's not something that happens every week. You know what? I'm just happy I had him and started him when he went off for those couple games at the beginning of the season, man. I got rid of him, though, shortly after. It felt like when the guys came back, the chips fell back down. So I like it, buddy. I like your Niners starts.
Moving to my Packers starts, I think Jordan Love is startable in this game. Josh Jacobs is startable in this game. Jaden Reed, you can start this guy. But I'm sitting Romeo Dobbs. And then Christian Watson, I think, is startable in this game, as well as Tucker Kraft, baby.
Let's go. My guy Dan has got Jacobs. He's been killing it the last 3 games. Yes,
sir.
He has. You got some Jacob shares?
I do not.
I got some Jacob shares, baby. Don't tell
I don't got no Jacob shares.
No Jacob shares.
I got some Tucker Kraft shares, though, and he's doing all right.
Yeah, I know you love that freaking guy. Let's keep it going, buddy, to Sunday night football. This week, it's the Eagles at the Rams.
Over under for this game is 48.5 points. Vegas have the Eagles picked to win by 3. And I got to go with the Eagles, baby. I mean, the Rams have been looking good, but the Eagles have been looking gooder. Okay. Shout out Gooder Sunglasses.
Check out the goodersunglasses.com/flex. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams, Trey, in this game. I just feel like the Rams are getting it together, my friend. If you look at their depth chart, it used to have a lot of IRs and hurt and and ouch, my knee hurts, but not no more. There's like a 1 NA on there, bro. I look at that depth chart and I'm like, well, this looks like a healthy team, man. I think the Rams are going to take the Eagles in this matchup.
I mean, they definitely have the opportunity to. I just think the Eagles are going to win this one.
Well, I'm starting Matthew Stafford, too, so I really want that to happen.
I am, too.
Still taking the Eagles. Let's get to some Eagles starts, man. Jalen Hurts, you can keep starting him up. Saquon Barkley, my guy, has been killing it. You're obviously going to keep starting him up. A.J. Brown, start him up. And that brings me to my start of the week. Jahan Dotson. What? For real? Yes. Devonta Smith is out of this game. Jahan Dotson elevated to the number 2 slot. Jahan Dotson, I think, has a good week this week.
Yeah. We love some Jahan Dotson over here on the 4th and Flex.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. He's right. This guy's right. Dallas Goedert, you could start him up too, Trey.
I like it.
Yes, you do. Let's get to some Rams starts. Stafford, Kyron, Cooper, Puka, Demarcus Robinson in a deep flex.
Yeah.
He likes it. Let's go to the last game. Plenty of time still to get some start and sits questions. If you have them, throw them down in the comments. We'll get to them after this game. Monday Night Football, the Ravens at the Chargers.
We got a banger on Monday night. Over under for this game is 50.5 points. Vegas have the Ravens picked to win by 4. And honestly, this is going to be a great game to me. I think that this could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Ravens just out of, my fantasy teams. However, I think the Chargers could win this game.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. This guy drafts Derrick Henry and Lamar, and they're going off, and now he's a Ravens fan over here.
I never said that I was a Ravens fan.
Yeah, but you're just so excited. This is gonna be a banger over here. Yeah, it is gonna be a good game. Do you realize that the Chargers have only lost 3 games?
Yeah. Do you realize that the Chargers are good and no one notices?
Yeah, I know. It's
the Chargers are good, man.
They got rid of 2 of their guys, and they're somehow doing better. It's insane. And it's coaching. It's got to be the coaching, man. Jim Harbaugh over there now, and it's looking good.
Oh, yeah, he's creating a culture for sure.
He is.
But jumping to my Ravens starts, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. I think you can start him this week. I think he's going to do good.
I will. Thank you.
And that's it. Bateman's questionable. I'm scared to start him. Obviously, you're banking on a super big play. And Deontay Johnson.
Everybody was pumped about that trade too.
I was not, because he went from being a 2 to a 3. Now he's not relevant. Dropped.
You're right, Trey. Show right.
But lastly, jumping to my Chargers starts, Justin Herbert, you can fire him up. J.K. Dobbins, you got to start this man. Lad McConkey is questionable with a shoulder injury. If he plays, you start him. If he doesn't play, Quentin Johnson's finna go off.
Okay.
And Will Dissly is even startable in this game. And for those people that are just absolutely struggling at running back, all your running backs are on bye, you don't know what to do, you can throw Gus Edwards in there and he'll get you 8 to 12 points.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Quentin Johnston, man, he's been pretty good. He's been kind of a start almost every week for me here lately. He was doing really good, then he kind of went bad, but now he's back up, Trey, and I'm loving it.
He's up right now.
And he don't suck right now. That's for sure, man. Quentin Johnston killing it. I love it. Yeah, man. Starts and sits, man. We're in week 12 already, Trey. Like, the playoffs are right around the corner, dog.
Yeah, man. What, like 6 weeks?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Yeah. How many playoffs we going?
4 or 5.
Oh,
that's what I'm calling.
We got like 4 or 5 leagues right now too, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Hey, my guy Dan says, don't forget about Dicker the kicker.
Oh yeah, Dicker the kicker.
He must have him or something.
Everybody has Dicker the kicker because that's what you call him.
Okay, whatever you say, buddy. Whatever you say. Hey, guy Trey, real quick before we go, I just want to say, what do you want to say to these people out here that are struggling? Like maybe is a playoff push could be on the way, with the people that you feel like may have already given up, Trey?
Yeah, man, no matter how hard it is, when it's tough like that, you just got to dig down deep and just keep starting players, keep doing the best of your ability, set your lineup to the best of your knowledge. Even on teams where I feel like there's no possible outcome for me to win this week, I'm still going out, I'm grabbing waiver wires, I'm putting in the best guys in the best positions for the best opportunity to win, and hoping for the best. And when you do that and you get a dub, it feels worth it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It feels like you actually, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe this team's going to turn around, and hopefully it does for you.
Why you look at me?
I was talking to
to America,
talking to the
people. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we shall see thee on the next one.
Peace. Balls to steal this guy. He's got big balls.